Hi, my name is Amanda Warren, and I am going to be presenting on Giving Voices to Values Case 7-3 GE Imagination at Work. A little bit of background on the case. The key parties involved were the senior corporate accountants. The key issues were their hedging transactions and how they were recognizing revenue. They were found, the SEC found that they had improper accounting transactions on 4 different violations. They ended up paying $50 million in fines for those violations. The major one was the revenue recognition. They didn't follow the 4 criterias of revenue recognition principles, which are persuasive evidence of an arrangement exists, delivery has occurred, or services have been rendered, the seller's price to the buyer is fixed or determinable, and that collectibility is reassured. Some of the ways that some of these corporate accountants try to do earnings management when it comes to revenue recognition is doing a bill and hold, and that's what GE essentially was doing. They were writing the contracts, they had the buyers, but they actually were not delivering the product until after the first of the year. And this is what the SEC caught them on in their accounting violations. The other one was their hedge funds transactions, in which the documentation requirement and the specificity requirement were not met past 2002. In 2002, they actually changed the way that they were accounting for these transactions, and that is what caused the violations with the SEC, because they were trying to borrow from buckets that were not underperforming to make up for the ones that were underperforming, thus disguising the losses when it came to these hedging transactions. The case questions: did GE violate the rules of revenue recognition? Yes, they did. The fact that they were not delivering the goods to the third-party customers was why they were violating those rules. They definitely engaged in earnings management. Was it good earnings management? It definitely wasn't, because they were trying to deceive the shareholders in what they were actually trying. What they weren't presenting a clear picture of what was actually going on with their financial transactions. They were actually trying to hide losses. The hedging transactions were violated GAAP because the original documentation that was presented when they started doing those hedging transactions was changed in 2002, and that's what they were getting in trouble for, because once you create those hedging transactions, the original document, the original agreements have to be followed rule for rule, and if they're changed at any time, then that means they're invalid, and it causes you to violate GAAP principles. Obviously, what makes good earnings management and what makes bad earnings management? Good earnings management is something that is management of your earnings that are going to project what is actually going on in your company. Bad earnings management is what GE was doing when they're trying to cover up the accounting issues that they were having, the losses and things like that, just so they can to make their EPSs. I think sound judgment is needed when doing earnings management. I think we all know when bad earnings management is going on. If you have to doubt yourself and are wondering, oh, is this really good? Or you have to have lots of justification behind the decision of doing certain transactions, and you probably know it's probably not good earnings management. In conclusion, I'll just leave you with a little joke. What's an accountant's favorite breakfast cereal? It's Posts. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you. Bye-bye.